And now, Jill Palcic, ladies and gentlemen.
Coach Hep was the most unselfish man I know. He always put his team first. And as you can imagine, assistant coaches can be very superstitious, especially when you're winning. And during the 2003 season at Miami University, we went on a 13-game win streak. And every Tuesday after practice, while we were watching film, the coaches would order subs from SDS Pizza in Oxford. About 4 weeks into our streak, Coach Hep came to the meeting room and he said, "I want to order a chicken salad sub." And we looked around. Bobby Johnson, our offensive line coach, spoke up and said, "Coach, did you order a sub last week?" The answer was no, and we didn't let him order a sub. Coach Hep sat in the back of the room angry, but I'll tell you what, for the next 9 consecutive weeks, he sat in the back of the room and he was hungry. It was always what was best for the team. Terry Hebner was my coach, my mentor, my role model, and my friend. And I'm honored to stand here today and represent all those that played for and coached with Coach Hep. Coach Hebner is first and foremost a great teacher. He could take a complex situation and make it simple for everyone to understand. We loved to play for him. His enthusiasm was contagious. His positive attitude was inspiring. He spoke with energy and conviction, and he made us believe that we were better than we even thought we could be. Coach Hep knew how to make playing football fun. And I think that everyone who played for him enjoyed going to practice. His coaching allowed us to play with confidence because we always knew that we were ready and we were prepared. On game day, there was no one better than Coach Hep to make game sideline adjustments. As a defense coordinator, GATA was his motto. Get after there, and that's exactly what we did. We all knew he had what it took to be a great head coach. And as much as I enjoyed playing for him, coaching for him was even better. I look back fondly at the amount of time I was able to spend with him. And over the years, I learned so much. Hep taught life lessons through football. This held true for coaches as well as players. His goal was to make us all better men. Some of my favorite quotes that he would say, teach us with is, "Every day's an interview. No job is too small. The more you do, the longer they'll keep you around. Never take counsel of your fears. Once you know the truth, you're now responsible for it. Have a plan, work a plan for the unexpected. We have no problems, just opportunities." As a head coach, he made a point to care for his staff and players. His loyalty is unmatched. Hep told us as a staff that our successes will be yours, our failures will be mine. He always did his best to protect his guys. Another thing that was special about Hep was how he included our families in our coaching careers. We worked hard, we spent a lot of hours in the office. But when the work was done, he wanted us to go home and spend time with our family. Our wives and children were always welcome to practice. Hep even paid for families to eat dinner at training table on Wednesdays nights during the season with the team. As a young coach, I admired the relationship that he had with his wife, Jane. They were great role models. And the first year I became coach at Miami, we had an awfully young staff. And he actually offered to counsel us with our marriages if ever we needed it. He was more than our boss. We trusted his advice. And what he gave us was invaluable. My personal favorite quote Coach Hepner's is football is what I do. It's not who I am. First and foremost in his life was his family. He loved being a grandfather. He was so very proud of his 3 children, and his wife Jane meant everything to him. Hep was an avid reader. He enjoyed looking for motivational tools and quotes to pass along to the team. Hep was extremely competitive. Everything we did, we had to compete. We went and played an isolation round of golf. No, there's points here, points there. I didn't know what game we were playing, but I know we were competing. Staff outings, we'd go bowling. It was a competition. Bocce ball, cornhole. We were going to compete whatever we did. Hep was a great storyteller. He loved to tell stories during staff meetings. And he had a great memory, and it always amazed me that he was able to pull out someone's first and last name from 40 years ago. He was in the 8th grade. He talked about someone, he'd know their first and last name. Hep loved music and dancing, and he loved to watch people dance. And if the electric slide broke out, you can bet your life he'd be leading it. The thing I remember most about Coach Hep was his optimism and determination. A couple of months ago, my wife and I stopped out the house. I wanted to see how he was doing, and I wanted to introduce my newborn son to him. He told me that he had a plan for his comeback. He said he was going to use Mr. Greenspan's connections at West Point, and he was going to get the Army Golden Knight parachute team to come to Bloomington, and he was personally going to parachute the ball onto the 50-yard line for the opening kickoff of our opening game. In the midst of his biggest battle of his life, he was not going to quit. He was planning a grand entrance back to coaching the Indiana Hoosiers. That is the kind of spirit that Terry Hepner had. The Hepners as a family believe in the power of prayer and the power of a positive attitude. He never got down. In fact, the opposite is true. After his first surgery, he said, "I'm going to be a better man, a better husband, a better father, and a better coach because of it." In the last couple of days, I read somewhere where Ben Roethlisberger had a quote, and Ben said, "Coach Hepner has inspired me to be who I am today. He has been a second father, a teacher, and a friend. He believed in me, and I owe everything to him for where I am in life." Ben said it best, but the ironic thing is everyone that spends time with Coach Hep feels the same way. He made us all better men, better fathers, better husbands, better coaches, just by knowing him. And if you didn't know him well, he had a way about him that made you feel like you did. He said, "Football is my passion, but my family and faith are what is important to me. I feel I've been given an opportunity to take advantage of the second chance I have been given." Our challenge here today will be not to wait for a second chance to realize that family and faith are what's most important in life. Be a mentor. Be a positive influence. Encourage the person next to you to be the best that he can be, just as he did for all of us. Coach Hepner was the epitome of class and dignity, and it showed even more during the tough stretches the last 2 years. And on behalf of all the coaches and players, we're going to play in his honor. Play to make him proud. We're going to play for each other and the entire Hoosier family. Coach Hep's last days, his body had betrayed him, but it could not contain his spirit. And so I say this to my coach, my mentor, my role model and friend. You are loved and you will be missed.